key witness in the Diddy trial has gone missing. This is super concerning because she is crucial for the case against one of the biggest names in music. She was actually going under a pseudonym like 3 other witnesses in the case, but she decided to waive that right and reveal her identity.
Get a hold of her or her attorney. A lot of people are like, what the fuck is going on? Is that coincidence? I don't know. I wouldn't put it past Diddy to have something to do with this, allegedly, okay? Allegedly. Everything is alleged.
So, word on the street is that Diddy's sons are out here singing like birds to the feds about how Diddy allegedly tried to unalive witnesses before they get a chance to expose him in court. Y'all, this trial is only a few days old, and it's already been a roller coaster. But one of the biggest plot twists so far is that one of the star witnesses for the prosecution has apparently disappeared into thin air. Of course, people are talking and they're saying this witness didn't just get cold feet and bail. The witness might have been unalived and could be lying in some ditch in a remote village as we speak. And guess what? Diddy's sons are allegedly spilling all the tea about how Diddy made them do his dirty work, including allegedly threatening, blackmailing, and sending goons after witnesses. Disappearing witnesses, Cassie testifying in court, Diddy's team fumbling their opening statement, and now Diddy's sons snitching on him allegedly. This is too much, y'all. Let's break it all the way down. So, whispers have been floating around about how Diddy might have something to do with the witness who mysteriously disappeared on the eve of the trial. With all the rumors that have been floating around about Diddy witness tampering and trying to bully his alleged victims into silence, it's not such a leap to imagine that Diddy could have harmed the witness in one way or another. Now, to be fair, witnesses get cold feet all the time. They get anxious or they decide it's just not worth putting themselves through all that. It happens, and the trial gets over it. However, if word on the street is anything to go by, then we're not just witnessing a case of cold feet. We're witnessing a full-blown conspiracy to take out one of the people who could nail the coffin in Diddy's case. So, who is this witness, and why are they so important to the case? The witness is only identified as victim 3 in the court documents, and she is allegedly one of the women whom Diddy trafficked and exploited. She was supposed to testify about how Diddy exploited her, and her name would have finally been released when she took the stand. But obviously, that can't happen anymore because she's nowhere to be found, and the prosecutors cannot reach her. Victim 3 was one of the 4 alleged victims, including Cassie, who were scheduled to testify against Diddy. Obviously, the prosecution will bring forward many other witnesses, but hearing from Diddy's victims directly is very important to get a conviction. Now here's where it gets shady. Apparently, the feds have been talking to Diddy's sons, and they seem to know a little too much about the witness and where she could be. Word on the curve is that Justin and Christian dropped some pretty incriminating evidence against Diddy during their little chat with the feds that might come back to bite Diddy in the behind. And get this issue is so serious that Diddy's team was considering asking for a mistrial or seeking a delay in the trial. If they were willing to throw in the towel before anything had even come out in court, it tells you just how bad the whole situation is. But here's the thing, the prosecution isn't too worried about victim 3 not participating in the trial because they have other victims and tons of witnesses and evidence to bury Diddy for good. I mean, it's just been a few days, and some of the witnesses are already dropping some crazy bombshells in their testimony. Things we suspected, but most people never really thought were real. The first witness the prosecution brought was a man named Israel Flores, a Los Angeles police officer who was a security official at the Intercontinental Hotel when Diddy and Cassie stayed there in March 2016. Flores revealed that one day, while he was on duty, he received a call saying there was a woman in distress. When he went to investigate, he found Diddy and Cassie in the elevator lobby and escorted them back to their room. Interestingly, Flores also testified that Diddy tried to slide him some cash in an envelope, which he declined because it was giving, "Take this money and don't breathe a word about this to anyone." Remember how Cassie revealed that Diddy would often bribe people not to report the things he did to her? Yeah, this pretty much confirms it. I mean, this guy denied it and filed a report about the incident, but how about the countless other people who took the money and swept it under the rug? But it gets even worse because according to Flores, Cassie later left the hotel with a purple eye. However, it was clear she didn't want to press any charges, so he decided not to call the police. If you think that's bad, wait till you hear what the next witness said on the stand. The second witness was Daniel Phillip, an escort who claimed Diddy paid him to sleep with Cassie. According to him, Diddy paid him about $5,000 to $6,000 hours for every encounter. He would then direct each session, forcing them to engage in awkward roleplay before telling him when and where to finish. Diddy also allegedly directed him to rub baby oil all over Cassie's body and do stuff with her while Diddy sat on a chair and watched. One time, Diddy ordered Daniel to finish inside Cassie even though he wasn't wearing a rubber. He didn't feel comfortable doing this, so he would pretend to finish, but Diddy would repeatedly ask him whether he was sure he did. Daniel also testified that he saw Diddy put his hands on Cassie multiple times, and Diddy would also give both him and Cassie hard substances before the freak-offs. Mind you, these freak-offs lasted sometimes up to 10 hours. Diddy would also record some of them, including one time when he asked Daniel to urinate on Cassie. And it wasn't just some kinky golden shower type situation. Apparently, Diddy forced Cassie to do this, even when she was choking on the urine. Daniel claimed he witnessed Diddy throwing a bottle at Cassie and putting his hands on her because she didn't respond quickly enough when he called her. The things that this guy was explaining were so graphic and disturbing that Diddy's daughters had to leave the courtroom whenever things got intense. His mother was there too, in shambles because she couldn't believe the kind of things that they were accusing her son of doing. It was especially bad when the prosecution pulled up the hotel lobby video of Diddy throwing Cassie around like a rag doll. This video was super important because it established a pattern of behavior for Diddy. The prosecution's message was clear. This is an incredibly violent man who will do whatever he can to control others, including inflicting harm on them. The jury and Diddy's family got to see in 4K just what kind of man he was, and it wasn't pretty. The video also sets the tone for when Cassie will finally take the stand. Cassie, who is heavily pregnant right now, made it clear in that courtroom that she is no longer afraid of Diddy. She was clear as day as she talked about all the horrific things he put her through. According to Cassie, Diddy had trusted assistants like David James and Christina Coram who would keep tabs on her. That way, she could never really escape him. He would always find her no matter where she went or how fast she ran. It's sad to imagine how scared she must have been at the time. I mean, this man had her entire life under his control. If she left, he would find her. If she dated other men, he would find them and threaten them or blow up their cars. And her career? Toast. According to Cassie, she wrote hundreds of songs when she was with Diddy, but only a few of them ever got released. Her record deal with Bad Boy was tossed aside, and 9 whole albums never got released, and she was never paid a dime for them either. Instead, the freak-offs became her full-time job. Cassie testified that it got to a point where the only thing she could do was try to recover between freak-offs. These testimonies are doing a great job painting Diddy exactly how the prosecution wants the jury to see him, as a dangerous man who needs to be taken off the streets before he victimizes other people. But if word on the street is anything to go by, then Diddy and his defense team are already fumbling this case bad. I mean, their opening statement was just outrageous. Teeny Giragos, one of the lawyers on Diddy's defense team, delivered the opening statement, and she started with this absolutely outrageous line: "This case is about love and jealousy and money." Then she spent the next few minutes trying to create an image of Diddy as just another regular guy who worked his way out of the slum and became one of the most influential people in his field, which is all true. But then she followed up with this: "This case is about Sean Combs' private ex-life. The government has no business in that. He has a temper and got violent. He is not proud of that. We own it. He sometimes gets so jealous or angry he is out of control. You will hear that he lied to his girlfriends. You may think he is a jerk or mean, but he's not tried for that. He's tried for running a racketeering enterprise. This is DVDV is not sex trafficking." It became obvious immediately that their entire defense during this trial would be, yeah, Diddy did some bad things, but they weren't that bad, plus the women were desperate for his attention and money. They even tried to imply that Cassie was just as bad as Diddy. It would be funny if the stakes weren't so high. It's still not clear whether the missing witness is going to be found, if she'll come back, or if she's even still alive. But we can all agree that the case against Diddy is getting pretty strong either way. So, do y'all think Diddy had something to do with her disappearance? And what are your thoughts on Diddy's kids' involvement in this trial? Drop a comment down below, and then check out this next video.